with that second quarter, it got away from us, and 51 points. That's a lot to overcome with a team that is this good. So I don't think either team played great defense, but they made definitely some shots. We helped with that some with the lack of physicality on our end.
Offensive showcase, especially in the first half. Z came out on a tear scoring wise, only 5 assists overall in the game. Was that by design to do something different than the Clippers, or that point Zion effect with all those assists? Is that something that's drawn up on purpose?
No, it's just reading the game. He had moments where he could score. He went and did it. He had moments where he got off the ball. I mean, we had 28 assists, only 13 turnovers. So that part, we're sound. It was the defensive end for us tonight. They didn't fill us enough, and give them credit. They got out in transition, 15 points in transition, and then the 68 points in the paint. That's just too many for our defense to give up and think we're going to have a chance to win that game.
Russell had like 14 in a 2-minute stretch
Yeah.
in the second quarter. Do you feel like that's kind of when it started to slip away a little bit or changed?
Yeah, he shifted the momentum with those shots and took a timeout. We tried to throw some different looks at him, but once he got it going, he ignited that second quarter run. We were better in the third quarter, but we just didn't have enough to pull out the win. So give them credit. They played well.
Yeah, I mean, Wednesday was one of your guys' better defensive games of the season. I mean, what do you feel like, I guess, just changed for 2 nights later for it to just look so different?
We have to be consistent with the defensive end of the ball, and that comes down to mindset. And tonight, we didn't bring it. That's the deal. You got to bring it consistently, and tonight was one of those nights where they got to the foul line. We got a little frustrated with some of the calls, and we got to continue to go out and play. I got frustrated too, but just lack of defensive physicality from our part.
How tough is it when it feels like it's not really just adjustments you need to make or switching up rotations? It's just the mindset just isn't there with your team.
It's tough, but that happens. Throughout a long NBA season. These guys are human. They're going to have moments where it's not all there. And tonight was one of those nights. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it tomorrow and watch some film and get ready for the next game.
And I guess, what are you seeing right now from Trey, where his minutes are down a little bit, not getting up as many shots? I guess, what are you kind of just seeing from him mentally where he's
at? He was good the Clippers game, and then tonight it wasn't just Trey, but collectively, we got to put guys on the floor that can guard, and just didn't do a good job. Wasn't his night. All right, thanks.
Not too many questions for Willie tonight. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned in to the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all being up in this thing, man. Late stream recapping the Pelicans fall to the Lakers 139-122. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. PPR representing Big Q, DC, Lexxah are in this thing representing the flocking nation. And in tonight's stream, not too happy. Pelicans fall to the Lakers 139-122. Full recap. We'll talk about it. What can I say about this one tonight, man? DC, Lex, y'all feel free to chime in, man. And this one,
I'm gonna need y'all Equifax, Experion, and TransUnion, bro. We got to give them these lines of credit, man.
Give him credit. He said it a couple of times. DC, give him credit. Give him credit,
man.
Got to give him credit. Let me prattle off some numbers.
We a bank, man. All shit. We got to give him credit.
The first bank of Pelicans. Yeah, I know. We giving everybody credit. All right, so. I mean, anyway, there's a few numbers right here for the Pelicans tonight, family. They shot almost 52% from the field, 46 of 89. The Lakers were 56% shooting from the field tonight. Pelicans 11 for 29 from downtown for 38%. The Lakers 14 of 31 for 45.2. Free throws 19 of 23 by the Pelicans for a very good percentage of 82.6. The Lakers, however, got to the foul line 32 times, converted 27 of them from 84.4%. Pelicans did have 41 rebounds tonight in the matchup against their 32. And of course, there are other things to talk about in terms of the Pelicans turnovers. They had 13 tonight, 21 off versus 10 by the Lakers. With their 8 turnovers, fast break points 16-15 advantage. Pelicans 68-60 in points in the paint situation for the Pelicans. So anyway, let's get into it. DC, Lexxah. Let's start with Lex first. Lex, give me your thoughts on let's go with Lex tonight. Let's start it off with Lex. Let's get it on out of the way.
Oh
You
man.
already know I was gonna concede, right? You know that.
Yeah,
Huh?
no DC. Yeah, no, I know
Lex
y'all too
got
well.
the notes, man. She got the notes we all need to hear.
All
You
right,
know what? I have a lot of notes, but you know what?
Lex, the floor is
I
yours.
stopped taking notes and I was just looking at the game. And really it kind of throws all the notes out the window. Because I got a question. Who had the fresher legs tonight?
Pelicans.
Are you sure?
They're supposed to. I mean, the Lakers had a back-to-back against the Nuggets. They lost the Nuggets matchup, but
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. And I'm stuck on that part right there. From the jump. What did I say when what did the Pelicans need to do to win this game? That's the question you ask. I always say energy. You got to match it or exceed it. The energy from the jump, even though offensively the Pels were doing very well, the energy was not matched. Not only that, this is probably the worst I've ever seen like defense. I mean, there was no basic defense. I'm just talking about basic defense. Staying in front of your man. Too many backdoor cuts. Too many cuts, period. It's funny because Willie's sitting up there giving the Lakers credit. The Lakers don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not really doing all that great. I know they have LeBron. I know they have AD. And it's funny because really it wasn't so much as them two really, having a huge impact on this game. It was the others. It was the other guys for the Lakers that were really showing up and showing out. And that's what's crazy. Why are we getting beat by D'Lo? Why are we getting beat by that dude? Why is what he's doing impacting the game so much that we couldn't stop him? I really wish Willie Green would have put Jose Alvarado on him because D'Lo started getting rid of that ball. He didn't want none of Jose. Jose's quick. He like a little mouse. It was too much for him. But that would have been nice if he would have put him on him because by the time he put it on him, it was too late. It was too late. Another thing I want to say is that the Pels, I've never seen the Pels exploited like this. Like the Pels were dissected. The weaknesses of this team stuck out so bad. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I don't even know where to even start because it's like they were just picking the Pels apart just ridiculously. I'm like, wow, that is a huge hole right there. For one thing, and I know he's not known for his defense, but Trigger's one-on-one defense, he needed help every single time. He needed help. He couldn't stay in front of nobody. I mean, he just needed so much help. it's one thing that your shot's not falling. I was hoping that he would break out of his rut against the Clippers, but he hasn't broken out of his rut at all. That's still a work in progress. But his defense was really bad. Like everybody had to help him. And when they drove in on him because they were putting Rui Hachimura on that side with Trigger, and then Trigger, he don't have no muscle. I mean, he wasn't about to do nothing with Rui, but they were exploiting him there. I know with Zion, everybody knows with Zion. I mean, I know he had a great night offensively. Really struggled defensively though. Got caught with, I know, 3 bad back doors. 2 of those were dunks by Rui, and it was a layup by Reeves. That can't happen. These are basic things. I've never seen this many backdoor cuts and just cuts to the basket without no type of contact. Just too many easy layups. And this is just basic stuff. They teach you this stuff in middle school, man. I mean, they weren't even getting beat by like cross ups or anything. They were getting beat by give and goes and back doors and just cutting to the basket. It seems like sometimes on defense, guys overplay, and if they don't overplay, they're underplaying. But there's no happy medium. It's like, guys, just stay in front of your man. Stay in front of your man. And just, I don't know. The defense, just basic defense, active hands, move your feet. It was a struggle tonight. And it wasn't just a few guys or one guy. It was everybody. There's so many directions that I could go with this game. But 87 points in the first half, 52 in the second. It's like, it shouldn't have been a shootout. It shouldn't have been a shootout, but, because what are the Pelicans ranked in defense? Big Q?
I'm gonna have to look it up, Lex. Hold on, let me pull that up on screen here. Hold on here. Let me see if I can find it. Pull it up here. I had it.
We
Statistics.
definitely like top 10. I think at one point we were top 5.
Yeah, like
I don't
where
know.
was that tonight? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we lost by 20 to a team that just played against an emotional game against the Denver Nuggets. A game like this should not happen. We got blown out. A 20 point game, that's a blowout, man. That shouldn't happen. We didn't match the energy. And we weren't ready to play defense. I know, and I've seen everybody, mention Willie and the coaching and the rotations. You know what? I just and even the reffing, yeah, they missed some calls on Zion. I saw that. But man, I'm so stuck on why in God's name did you all not come out with that energy, man? Y'all should have matched that or exceeded it. But don't play under. They
11th.
coming off back to back.
They're 11th right now.
I mean, that just can't happen. It just can't happen. This game was very, very disappointing. You can't even really celebrate the good things because it's like you lost by 20 to a team that really it's like the Lakers looked younger than this team. They looked younger than the Pelicans. Overall, they looked younger than the Pelicans. Getting out in transition, I think they said that they only had 1 turnover. Like, the Pelicans are supposed to get out in transition. That's what the Pelicans do.
Yeah, Lex, it was this was crazy. The backcourt for the Lakers almost had 60 points between just Russell and Reeves. And
The others.
right.
Yeah.
It was their starters. I mean, LeBron had a double-double, 21 points, 14 assists, but Hachimura had 21 points. He had a couple of three-pointers in there. He was getting it in.
He's the other. You know what I'm saying? The others were really involved in this game. They really put their stamp. It's like we didn't take anything away. AD was in foul trouble, but didn't he have almost 20 points?
20 and 6 and 6.
I mean, come on, man. He was in foul trouble. Oh, everybody got a piece of the pie. We didn't we didn't take away anything from the Lakers. And LeBron, he had 21 and 14, I do believe. You know what I'm saying? We didn't take away anything. You have to take away something. But you gave them everything. Henceforth, I guess there's the credit.
Yeah. Let me see if I get my clap button here. Hold on, Lex. Let me
I'm
help you out.
sorry. Shoot.
There you go.
We were giving out plates, credit. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Look, houses with no mortgages and things, you know, free internet, cable, Hulu. Oh goodness, I'm done, y'all. For the moment.
DC, take it away.
Man, the Pels. I thought tonight Lexxah covered all the negative points.
Oh, I did. Why you say that?
No, I'm just saying, like you like it ain't a lot of meat left on the bone in that direction. I can't say that bad about the
we'll talk about DC. Let's see. We got a new show sponsor. We got a new show sponsor, DC.
We're all human beings.
Got a new show sponsor. It's the Disney movie Cool Runnings is sponsoring DC.
Yeah, I ain't coming. You was over there.
DC here. DC's positive points. Take it away, DC.
I didn't say nothing about positive points. I said Lexington covered all the negatives.
Yeah, I thought you was gonna do the positive though. You know, positive, negative, have a balance.
Defense.
Okay.
Oh man. But look, we gotta give him some credit.
Stop it. Oh, goodness gracious.
My standpoint.
Don't do this, man.
My standpoint, since you so, eloquently went over all of the points with the defense, I'm leaning towards maybe like the offense, man. They that second quarter was atrocious defensively, right? And after that, it was a shootout at this point. We continue to try to keep defensive guys in, and it ain't working. I'm not saying Trey definitely was getting cooked out there. They was picking on him. They was trying to take advantage of Trey every chance they get.
Man, they bullied that dude.
Points in the game, they actually did the same thing to Zion, but he was giving up some plays, but he kind of held his own in some areas. I thought definitely better than Trey, but when the defense is suffering, man, I just don't understand why we can't just go all offense, right? Why when we can't get to the free throw line because they cut off our water from the free throw line after halftime. That was done. We wouldn't get no more free throws.
Did Ray Allen play?
I was thinking
he did. He played 3 minutes.
How many points did he have?
Clay can get you 60 points in 3 quarters. You know what I'm saying?
5 points, 3 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. He had it going from behind the arc, didn't he? Just supporting you, DC.
But yeah, I do. But the main thing is we got that. It's an offensive game at this point, man. We can't rely on defense. Willie's defensive minded, but it's like, man, when you just see all the points that's being put up, we didn't play any defense, but neither did the Lakers. It was apparent to me after that second quarter, man, if we wanted to win this game, we had to we had to like turn some things on offensively. We was gonna have to start hitting some shots from behind the line. That 10-point lead would balloon up to 15, 17, 16 or whatever, and we get it back down to 9, and then just keep ballooning up, man. We wasn't gonna do it by making stops alone. So I just would have liked to see some better rotations. Kind of leaned into things offensively a lot more, not a little more, because what we were doing defensively wasn't working. Dice had an okay game, but I don't see a reason for Dice to have 27 minutes. Did we need him out there? Hell yeah. We needed Jose out there too. But I don't see them having to play 27 and 21 minutes and you don't give Hawk nothing. You know, Trey played 19. I understand they picked on him. Didn't see him too much after the second half. I mean, after the first half. Give him another shot. We needed that 3-ball tonight. You know we're not gonna get the calls. Once they start running the free throw drills in the third quarter, man, I think we should have leaned more into our offensive strategy, man, and trying to get things going in that direction. You saw Willie closer to the end of the game in the fourth quarter try to go Zion at center. That didn't work. You know, they start getting cooked and closed out the game like that. But we can't continue to do the same thing. Yeah, you right about that too, Jay Black. Say that again for the slow people, Big Q. Free throws, 23 attempts, Lakers. Free throws, 31. 3 lane violations, 3 seconds, 3 techs, 1 tech against Willie. Yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. That's absolutely correct. But we seeing it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. I'm just tired of losing the same way. Go at it, do something different. So trying to get the 2-man game with Zion and BI going, that's popping, but I don't understand what Hawk did to not get any not to be able to get any minutes. Trey definitely was getting cooked defensively, but with this game, man, that's the best you got is to play them 2 guys together. You know, put them out there. Let's see if we could get our offense going. Let's see if maybe we can get a 40-point quarter, 50-point quarter. Other than that, I knew once that started happening, they scored 87 points in the first half, but we were still right there. No, not 87. It was like probably, I think, 81. But we were still right there.
It was 87. It was
Damn,
74 to
87.
87.
Crazy. Damn, I was
87 points. Man, this was like
right.
they
It's a
said it
shootout.
was an all-star. It
You
was
gotta
like an
lean into
all-star
it.
game. No defense.
Well, we got to lean into it. We can't be putting 9 all-stars out there. You know what I'm saying? We trying to win the game with defense, and this ain't that type of game for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess y'all are absolutely right, man. I guess I can kind of look at some of the positives from the game, and there are very many. But I did like the aggressiveness of Zion Williamson taking it to LeBron James. I guess that's one of the things that I could say positive that I've seen Zion Williamson play. Like he was a little bit, I ain't gonna say docile, but you know, the last matchup, but being more aggressive, going at LeBron James. And he really did a really stellar job of doing that. 30 points in 32 minutes, 12 of 19 from the field. His foul shots were pretty damn good. He was 6 of 7 when he did get an opportunity to get there. He finished with 9 rebounds. People always kid him about him not getting enough rebounds. He almost had a double day, 5 assists as well. And he was slow on some stuff. You could see he was a little bit tired in the game as well. They did their customary thing when they take them out right around the 6-minute mark. BI did some stuff with 22 points in the game. CJ had 19. But like I said, when you look at what the Lakers did, their whole starting 5 had the smallest amount of points scored in the top 5 guys, the starters, all had at least 20 points. 20 from Anthony Davis, 21 from Hachimura, 21 from LeBron and 14 assists, 30 from Russell with 6 3-pointers, and then 27 from Reeves with 3 3-pointers. So,
Gosh,
I mean,
this
they
goodness.
And that's where it all came from. One dude off the bench, Late Wood, had 9 points off the bench, but really the work
They
was
made the
all.
Lakers look like a super team, man.
Mhm. And it was like you talked about the them, defending, not getting up court fast enough, defend those outlet passes. They throwing the passes down there and getting these easy backdoor passes and layup. The Pelicans just didn't adjust well to that. And that was a problem. That was problematic. And of course, we talk about the foul shots as well, which was very uh that's just what the Lakers do. Like what LeBron James did when he hooked Dyson Daniels underneath the rim, initiated the contact and pushed him back, and then the referee called Dyson I was like, yes, indeed.
I
Yes,
mean,
indeed.
he's LeBron James,
LeBron.
that that
Gets
was
the
a political move.
right. But this is you're there and we
That's
expect
20
him
years worth of making the NBA money right there, bro. You gotta gamble.
Yeah, that's
to at
basically
least
what
give
it is.
they at least throw him a bone. I make him he can play, and then I just really and I respect LeBron as a great player, but I really despise his whining, his excessive whining through the game, like him holding his hands, like what did I do? And you grabbing guys, you pushing guys, you shoving guys, you're reaching in there, slapping people on the arm, and then when you get called with the foul, it's just every time like you don't do anything wrong out there, LeBron. It's just gets on my nerves, man. How much I see him whining and asking for calls, and this guy gets more calls than any damn body. So I mean, it's just me. It's just crazy.
You
But
know what's
anyway,
better than getting a call, Q?
what's that?
I say, you know what's better than getting a call?
What's better than getting a call? What's better than getting a call? DC hitting the free throw? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, getting another call.
There you go. All right, that's very true. That's very true. But anyway, before we get into the preview for the next matchup, we got Portland. Yeah, we got two more road games. We got Portland, then what was it Memphis? I think it's the other game there. So Pelicans are now with their their winning streak snapped. They're now ranked 7th in the Western Conference round at 30 and 22, excuse me, 21 and 18 in conference play, 15 and 12 on the road, and they have slid back to the 7th spot, and they're just a half a game behind the Kings for the 6th
Yeah,
spot, the full
this is
game.
dangerous.
Chairs for a long time.
Yeah,
So
this is dangerous, man.
so we can have some. We got Portland, the Trailblazers on the way. Shout out to Big Sean out there. Shout out to his San Antonio Spurs. They got 10 wins on the season. Shout out to y'all for y'all 10 wins. Just want to give y'all Tasha a shout out.
Hold up, you gotta put the hand clap stuff up there, man.
Yeah, shout out, man. Sean, shout out to y'all, man.
That's got it going right, no?
10 wins.
Zion's interview's on Big Q.
Okay, hold on here, Lex. I'm gonna get it on. But shout out to Sean, man. I wanted to give him a shout out for his Spurs. Now, currently they got 10 wins, but they're really on a 6-game losing streak, so we got to give them some amount of positive.
They got 10 wins.
Right, 10 wins, bro. Shout out to you, man, for y'all doing what you do. All right, so anyway, hold on. Let me get Zion up here, man. Just give me a second. Let me get him up here and hear what he had to say. Here's Zion.
Been getting a lot of shots at a high clip, but there were things we could have definitely avoided. I got backdoor cut too many times. I think we were over helping times when we weren't supposed to, and lack of communication.
You came out firing, scoring at a super high clip early on. When you go into a game, do you go in with the mindset of, hey, I want to assist, or hey, I want to score, or is it just a matter of reading what the defense is giving you?
I get the lay of the land, and if it's there for me to score, I'll score.
The second quarter was kind of when that game flipped a little bit. Just what you see in those 12 minutes.
Granted, they were hitting shots, but we're fine. We're gonna hit tough shots. That happens, but we can't give up just easy layups and transition baskets. We can't do stuff like that because that's when the game get out of hand.
It seemed like, especially after you started heating up, they made a point of really going at you, whether it was some pick and roll or really cut and you were a low man. I guess we sensed that. What's kind of your mentality at that point?
That's a tough basketball question because people don't know our scout. And that's just what it is. When you don't know our scout, certain things look a certain way, and that's not what it is. But situations like that, when a team is trying to attack me, I gotta play defense. I gotta play better defense.
And when you kind of feel just the team as a whole, just the physicality, the mentality is there on the defensive end. I guess what do y'all have to do to respond in those moments to kind of get the tide turned in the other direction?
You're one stop at a time. You gotta stack your stops. Instead of looking at like 3 stops in a row, just now we're gonna get a stop on this possession, then we're gonna get a stop on the next. You gotta stack your stops.
So on that note, what do you think is the team's offensive potential?
Ours,
Yeah.
we have a extremely high potential when it comes to our defense, uh, but we still just gotta build chemistry on that end with different groups. Some units get out there and our defense is really good. Other units, it's not like that. But I think the more we communicate and the more we trust each other on rotations, the better we'll become.
You beat touch on how starting the first quarter and they kind of slowed down a little bit from there, especially with D. I guess what did they kind of do to adjust and kind of make things more difficult for y'all?
I personally don't think they really made things difficult. I think we just started trying to get our teammates involved and started picking and choosing spots. But we were scoring. We just didn't get no stops. You guys have a great night.
All right, that goes Zion, man. We was scoring, we just didn't get no stops. He ain't lying, man.
Yeah.
And gave up a lot, man. Gave up a lot in the matchup. So go ahead, Lex, go ahead. What you kind of share with us your thoughts on what Zion said in DC.
I mean, he owned up on, things he could have did better. Obviously, the backdoor cuts and things. I mean, but everything was correct. I mean, really, I'm pretty sure, like, everybody in the locker room is disappointed about this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really bad. This is a game that they should have won. And, I'm always saying, look, I'm still thinking about that in-season tournament game, man. It's like, man, y'all gotta come out like, man, this is personal, man. It's personal. You can't treat this like it's just another game. You can't treat it like that. And, that energy, at least matching the energy and the level of intensity would have helped. But, I mean, everything you said was factual. I mean, there's really nothing you can really argue with. I mean, basically everything that we just said.
Yeah, yeah. I think that level of intensity they had it for a while, but it's like when the Pels get kicked in the mouth, man, I don't know, they'll hang on for a while, and then it's just like they just let go. They stop doing everything that got them there, but it's definitely an issue that needs to be fixed. We continue to, lose the same way. You got to put yourself in position to be able to make a run or be in the game in the fourth quarter at the end of the game. Can't continue to have great blowout wins followed by great blowout losses.
What'd you say? DC?
I say we can't continue to have great blowout wins followed by great blowout losses.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're consistently inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Up and down. Like I said what I said a few episodes ago. We're gonna win, everybody gonna be happy, and then we're gonna lose, and it's gonna be in the world, and we're gonna win again. And it's just keep on going.
It's the same thing.
It's a cycle that we stuck in. Zion obviously knows what the issue is. He talked about him, messing up on those back cuts, and to your points, he talked about the team over helping, and it's always been the same thing. And then Willie, with his rotations, he throws that in there, and we're not gonna get much love from the refs. Then we make all those mental mistakes. So we really got to look ourselves in the mirror and look at the wonderful article that Doc Ock, all his auto clips that they got out, and how much he believes in our team, and we didn't do any trades because he
Man,
believes.
that dude can go kick rocks. He
So
can go kick a whole lot of rocks and then some more rocks.
Brady ain't say nothing. He said it all.
I do have a positive though, real
General
quick.
Red.
Do you all realize in the third quarter?
Hey, Lex, you better be careful. He's looking at you. He paying attention to what you're saying.
Hey, you know what? I'm looking at him too.
He might try to touch you.
We're gonna have a stare down. You know what I'm saying? Shit. We were actually down 4 points at one point in time. 4 points.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know what happened at that point, but
I remember what happened.
there was hope. You know what I'm saying?
With no shooters.
I mean, this was in the third quarter. They went on a 10-2 run at the start before the first timeout was called by the Lakers. The Pels went on a 10-2 run, and they got it down to 4 points.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
He stuck with that Jose Dice lineup for a little too long.
You got to understand the vibe and the feel of the game. That's so important. Timing is so important. But like I said, you know, there is still a lot of checkers and not chess being played. You know. I'm finished.
All right, let's move into the preview of the Lakers game. It was painful, man, watching that. But let's move into the preview of a team that we probably could beat. The Portland Trail Blazers. They're 15-36, 9-14 at home. They are currently on a 3-game losing streak. Their best player, I think, is out. Anthony Simons is out. I don't know if he'll be ready for the Pelicans matchup, but this will be an arresting game right here. The Pelicans, first time they'll meet this team this season. The first of 3 games. So with that being said, I mean, man, the Portland game, of course, we'll finish with Portland and Memphis before we come home for a matchup against who is it? I forgot who it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's think about the Portland matchup heading forward. Starting with you, DC. What we need to do here? The matchup indicator saying we got this 78%.
Look at the matchup indicator, Q. That's what we need to do.
It's telling us that we got this 78%, 79%. So what we need to do here?
Man, this is a team in disarray, man. This is one of those games where you need to get back to the basics. Jeremy Grant is, that's their best player. But outside of that, Anthony Simons, he ain't there. DeAndre Ayton, he didn't got paid. He don't care about basketball no more. He just run around, got them women and stuff taking pictures of him, being in the room with him and all that. They got I mean, if you know, you know. It's all over social media. But anyway.
What? Proceed, DC. I need to do some research.
I'm not to the man personally. He's concerned with off the court activities.
Well, did you hear about the most recent thing? They're actually comparing him to Hassan Whiteside, but he's been throwing a lot of tantrums, doing a lot of complaining, on and off court. So as far as pertaining to basketball, but I do know what you're talking about, DC. That came out like some weeks ago. But recently, there you go. Tantrums could cost him his career. And I think the most recent thing that he said is that he doesn't have anything to prove. And I was like, oh, brother Ayton. Oh, why did you say that? Why did you say that, buddy?
I see why Monty Williams snapped on him.
Well, I think it's collective. I think it's collective, but yeah, his mentality is really, really bad. It's like, because for him to say that, like he doesn't have anything to prove, and basically that he has his contract. I was like, buddy, you just solidified that that's your last big contract.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that statement said.
We got
Thank
the
you.
next, the
Thank
next
you for your
Christian Wood on our
honesty.
hands, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your honesty. He shouldn't have said that though. That was just a bad move. And that went viral. That was on everybody who does basketball, that was on their feed. So
There you go, Lex. I ain't know all that. I knew
oh,
about
you can
his.
go back
I
and
knew
listen.
about his other aspirations. That's what I knew about. But,
We know about the Pawn Stars.
but
Go on, TC.
anyway, Jeremy Grant, is averaging 21 points. So obviously we got to hone in on him. And Malcolm Brogdon, I think, is one of those guys that if we go around there and mess around and, play with these guys and keep the game close, these two, they could have something going, man, and then put us away. But this isn't a team we should lose to. This isn't a team that it should be terribly difficult for us to beat. We pretty much got to go in there thinking we won this one already. Y'all know how these games go. This is what some people may call a trap game. But I don't see how it could be with the Pels just losing the way they did to the Lakers. We should be pretty pissed about that. The number one pick, he's also hurt. I don't see him. He's on where is he listed? Oh, Scoot's day to day, so Scoot might play. But he ain't really been living up to the expectations as of late. I don't want the Pels to be the team to light a fire up under them because I don't know, man. We had these weird games like you had with D'Lo tonight, where certain guys just take a liking to raining threes on our heads and just looking like they all world, and then go against the rest of the league and return back to form. That could happen. We've seen this happen before with the Pels, but I think the main thing is for them to look at what happened tonight, man. Get back to the simple stuff because we got away from a lot of things that we were doing that were working, and basically you know we got to go out there and not play down to our competition. There's no way these guys should be in the league with us, as far as the level of talent we got and what we are and the aspirations we got for our season. So Portland ain't playing for nothing. They would be perfectly happy to keep losing and get a high draft pick. So with all that being said, man, we just got to go out there and handle business. Don't keep them in the game. Don't let it go down to the wire to where some BS could happen. And I think the Pels easily take this game.
All right, Lex, what you think about that? I just finished looking up DeAndre Ayton, DC. What you talking about, bro? That's not very good, brother. Alexa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he said he was gonna do research on it, but
Let's
yeah,
do some
I
research.
knew exactly what he's talking about. They
I'm just
talked
telling
about
you,
like weeks.
that's what's going on, man.
Didn't he not learn? Well, anyway, Lex, the floor is yours.
He's not very bright that one.
Yeah, God, I wish this team was consistent because the thing is, what I feel like is like, okay, we played the Lakers, got blown out. You're gonna come out and probably blow this team out.
There
But
you
it's
go.
like I'ma still feel the same way. Huh? DC?
Inconsistent about being inconsistent. They are consistent.
Inconsistently.
Lex, they have one more shot at this Lakers team later on this in the season.
Yeah,
So we have one
but
more shot at it.
it's not just the Lakers, Big Q. It's the fact that again, remember I used the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like them big. It's like you win big, you lose big. But there's no. We gotta close that gap, man. We gotta close that gap. But anyway, I know I'm getting off the beaten path, but to win this game, again, I'm gonna say energy. Pell's got to go to a whole nother level, man. Man, you gotta make a statement. Got to make a statement and continue to make statements, not just against the temporary number one seeds, and then a team like the Lakers, and then against Portland. Got to come in with the right mentality, match the energy or exceed it. That's the two things that you need to do. Play with pace. Don't let the other team reciprocate the style in which you are trying to play on you. Don't let them do that. We got to impose our will on this game, and really play pissed off. We should have played pissed off on tonight. I said they need to beat them by 40. You know what I'm saying? At least 60. And really, I want to beat them by 60. But the thing is that basically what the Pels need to do to them, that's what happened to the Pels. So, but we don't want to play down to the competition. That's the last thing that we want to do. That's a no. Don't do that. Come out, play with a lot of energy, play with intensity, move the ball. Again, I like the fact that they really had emphasis on the point Zion. It does seem to work. Obviously, I mean we've always known that it worked. But I think during the game we start going away from it. But really, against the Lakers, it really didn't matter because just there was so many things that were ailing the team. But no, we don't want to look down upon any opponent. This is an NBA team, and any NBA team can get you. Yes, it's going to be the second of a back to back for the Pels, but I'm looking at the Lakers, what they did on their back to back, or second of their back to back, and definitely the Pels need to come out and do that on the second of their back to back. So that would only be fair, only be right. But yeah, we just gotta play to a whole nother level. Gotta play hungry, because I know the All-Star weekend is coming up and all this stuff, but man, I just don't want this to carry over after All-Star weekend. Like they need to play different. They need to play different and play more consistently at a high level.
Yeah, closing out with a 3-game winning streak before we hit the All-Star break would be ideal. Portland matchup is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Our time, Central Time, anyway. Then, of course, the Monday game is at Memphis before they come home for a matchup against Washington and then into the All-Star break. So, a very feasible 3-game winning streak the Pelicans can have going into the All-Star break. DC, you want to add on to that, bro?
I think the Pels are still in a good position, since I'm keeping hopium alive, Slim Side. I think as long as we can get hopefully to that fifth slot before All Star break, man, we'll be right where you will want to be, at the end of this year. But there's a lot of concerning issues that we got to clean up. The one positive thing I like that I've seen on this 4-game winning streak is the assertiveness from Zion and just how alive he becomes when they allow him to run point Zion, man. It's very, very peaceful, right? Since you put that up on the screen. Uh, but nah, seriously, the 2-man game with him and Bi is improving. Willie Green's rotations aren't exactly improving, but he's still experimental with certain things. We did see, which it didn't work, but I was shocked to see Zion at center later in the game. But I think the Portland game, the Wizards game, and what's the other game I'm missing? We got 3 of them, right?
Memphis.
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah.
We're playing all subpar teams, man. To us, I think it gives us an opportunity to try some different things, try some different looks, clean up some stuff, and get a good momentum going into All-Star break on a high note, and being able to work on the other issues that we have. So disheartening tonight to keep going through what we go through with the Lakers. But to be honest, man, I didn't think they would lose the way they did, but I thought they would lose this game. The Pels at every turn, every chance I give them, all the hopium I might do to try to believe that they can beat 2 really good teams back to back. They just haven't proven that they can do that yet. I think before the season ends, they will be able to do that, but a lot of things got to change. So I'm pretty much kind of ready to fast forward these 3 games, even though I'm going to enjoy them. I want them to get to the All-Star break, look back on first half of the season, man, and start to implement some of those changes. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Hulk down the stretch. I think we got to get him, Matt Ryan, somebody in there, man, so we can have a little more scoring with the bench unit, and we don't always have to focus on staggering, even though I know in the playoffs that's probably the direction we're going to go a lot, and the rotation might get all the way down to 8. But I ain't really looking forward to that. I think maybe 9. Or we keep somebody out there that's just really, really a great 3-point shooter other than CJ McCullough. Because as much as I want to believe BI is going to do that, man, BI took 2 threes tonight. Damn, why we lost the game. BI actually played solid, though. But I just think that 3 ball is kind of the one saving grace we could have to cover up some of these issues if we aren't able to fix them. We obviously won't be able to fix them all this year. Nobody does that, but they should be able to get better. But we got to lean into that 3 ball, man. We've been so dynamic with it. And to see 2 guys that shoot it so well, and Trey actually kind of still in that mini slump or whatever.
And we got Ray Allen and Steph on the bench.
There you go.
And for those who don't know, I keep saying them 2 names because Willie Green
Don't forget about
compared,
Clay
huh?
Thompson. Don't forget about
Yeah. You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
If y'all didn't see Willie's presser on Jayhawk, he compared Jayhawk to Ray Allen and Steph and Clay. And so I'm gonna keep saying, like, because the thing is, I mean, you give a player that type of praise. Let me tell you something. None of them dudes are sitting on the bench. None of them are. I know Clay hasn't been playing too well, but he still ain't sitting on the bench. He's playing him. He's getting playing time. Excuse me. So
Our old Clay Lex. I don't think he's talking about new
what'd
Clay.
you say?
I think he was talking about old Clay Lex, and I don't think he was talking about new Clay.
No, I'm just saying. No matter what Clay's still getting playing time. He getting a whole lot more playing time than Jayhawk is. You see what I'm saying? Like even with Clay not playing too great, he is still getting playing time.
Yeah.
So, like I said, ain't all of them got or are getting playing time. So we got Ray Allen just sitting over there chilling.
Well, I think he will, but Willie's doing his, defensive first mentality. He's a rookie. He's obviously not Herb or Dice on that level, so he ain't gonna get a lot of playing time in the beginning, regardless of how we feel about it. But I do know coming out of the All-Star break and going down the stretch, if we plan on doing something in the playoffs, man, it would be very intelligent to get this guy activated and get him in the rotation. I like Jose. I like Dice, and I think we need both of those guys too. depending on what the matchup is, what the temperature is in the game, what's going on. But you got somebody like this, man. The dude is special shooting the ball. And when you have people that have special skill sets and that's sitting on your roster, you have to find a way to utilize that most efficiently. So if you feel like he's a defensive liability, cool. But you got to use it to your advantage. And us leaning into point Zion, I've seen so many plays tonight where Zion drove and kicked it out after penetrating. And it's like you pass it to somebody like Dice, even though Dice had a solid game tonight, he played all right. He hit 2 threes too. But you pass it to somebody like Dice, and he's clearly, he's in range, man. You take the 3. And Dice is trying to hurry up and do something to throw it to CJ or something so he could jack up a shot. And they ain't not leaving off CJ. So, so it's like the more shooters you put around Zion in spells, because obviously, guys defensively still need some work. But man, just some of the shooting we saw with us breaking records and hitting
You
all
know
these
what?
pointers, man, we can't just forget about that and act like it ain't happened. It's just
No,
like,
it did happen, but again, it all comes back to that C word, man. It's like you can't break records. You got like, 33s one night, and then next night you can't even make a 3. Something's wrong with that. And that's basically, I know that's highly exaggerated, but that's basically how it's been. You almost can't even get excited about when the team's breaking records or having a great night or really have it going, because it's like, Lord Jesus,
we sixth in the
what what
league
Pel-
in 3-point
what
percentage, man.
what
That is
what
crazy.
Pelican personality are we gonna get on this night? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's literally been like that for a while, since the start of the season.
Yeah.
I
We
mean, we
sixth in
dealing
the
with the
league
same problems.
3-point percentage, but we what is that? We 300 3-point attempts behind all our opponents. And you right, Lex. Same problems, right? Keep doing everything the same way, expecting different results. We going crazy out here. But I think leaning more in the point Zion solve a lot of those issues. They just got to be willing to put the shooters out there with them. When Zion's in that mode where he wants to kick out, he's trying to get all his teammates involved. Man, we got to have shooting out there. Like I remember we had a lineup with due to injury, of course. It was like Matt Ryan, CJ McCullough, Hawk, what else they had out there? Larry and Zion, I think. Man, we was cooking people from 3-point line. Straight cooking them. And this an offensive league, man. Defense wins championships, yes. But man, look, you can't have that consistent offense and have that going every night when you going up against the top tier teams. You ain't gonna be able to do it just with stops. And you ain't gonna be able to do it just with tools. Even if you got your game going, you can't just hit tools all game, man. You can't keep trade twos for ones. But I know we ain't about to become the Golden State Warriors over here or nothing, but that's all I wanted to add, man. That's what I'm looking forward to these next games, or at least coming out of All-Star break. If we have a certain mentality that starts to lean at least a little bit more towards that, or like Lexxah talks about, to stay consistent in that. When we do it very well, and then we just forget about it, and then we get back to it, and then we forget about it. And it typically comes and goes with the wins and losses for us. A lot of our losses, you look at, the 3-ball either wasn't going or we didn't take them. And a lot of our wins, we were shooting really good. I know you can't expect to shoot 50% on 40 3-point shots every night. Obviously, they ain't gonna be that good, but I think it could be a lot more consistent than what it is.
Well, DC, y'all, you and Lex are talking about, and Slim said it in the comment section, that it's Pelicans are consistently inconsistent. That speaks to discipline. I mean, that's something that they have to improve upon going forward. And like I said, record wise, 30-22 is not a bad situation. You know, it's just how they lose these games, having these games, and yeah, man, they just got to approve across the board, and Willie has to be able to learn how to use these guys properly, knowing how to bring out the absolute best, and he struggles at that at times, man. And like I said, we got a lot of games left. Hopefully, at the All-Star break, he doesn't go anywhere. He stays in the office and just studies on how they can improve, how he can use his personnel. People ask me about Matt Ryan. Why aren't the Pelicans using Matt Ryan? I have no answer for that.
Is
That's
he ready to go?
uh,
He
I
was
Because he wasn't suited
yeah,
up
he
on
was
tonight.
like,
Embiid,
like
Lex.
almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went to the G League. Then they brought him back, and he's been riding the bench for the last several games. And he doesn't have an injury declaration. He simply has a DMP situation. He has a DMP, did not play, coach's decision. So I mean that's he could be an asset there, especially with Najee Marshall sideline with that back issue. Why not use Matt Ryan? You know, bring him out there and let him get some burn. You know, get him ready. You know, so I mean, his shot will definitely help. He's a veteran. He gives you effort, and we haven't seen him in a while, man. And he's just sitting there watching the game like we are. But anyway, let's get ready to kind of move forward here, man. We kind of did that thing. Let's address this. The Pelicans did not make a move at the trade deadline as we was
Oh,
anticipating.
here you go.
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Let's go to the
Pelicans did
Spider
not.
Man. We gotta fight Doc Ock. Okay, let's go.
He looking at you now, DC. Be careful. All right, so yeah, we didn't do anything. Now there were some answers and things we thought about it, and I got to give a shout out and some credit to DC because DC did make the mention from a historical standpoint that the Pelicans do have situations where they go past the trade deadline. They have people there. They don't like you got Val there. And that wouldn't be ideal for them to do it unless they decided to work with or perhaps give him a contract or what have you. So anyway, let's just go into some. I'm gonna get you guys thought processes on that. But let me give you a little bit of this article from NOLA.com. Shout out to them. I think this was written by Christian Clark, and this is kind of a transcript of a I guess you said presser that Griffin had with some reporters. And this is what he said about, and I'm not going to give to, they kind of cut out a lot of the word salad because I was trying to watch the game. I think he got on there in the second quarter, and the Lakers scored 51 points on the Pelicans while he was just, you know, he got in there at some part, and I was like, oh no, don't bring this guy here, please. And he was just sitting up there, word salad us to death while the Lakers was just shooting, D Russ was just shooting 3-pointers all over the damn place. But anyway, this is what he had to say about some of the stuff about the trade deadline and why they did not make a move. Why did you guys decide not to make a move Thursday? Griffin
Give us
said,
a beautiful word salad. Come on, Q.
I don't want to give you word salad there, DC. Griffin said, one of the things we find, he says, one of the things we find, and this goes back to times in Phoenix and Cleveland. There you go. You always try to talk about improving on the margins. You have to be really good to be better than the players we have on the margins, to be better than the guys we play rotational minutes. There's just wasn't the right opportunity for us to go after. Next question. One of the teams you guys were linked to in the rumor mill was Atlanta, who were exploring trades for Murray. How would you characterize those discussions? Griffin, we definitely were trying to be optimistic. A player of a caliber that you mentioned and the team you mentioned, you listed those types of things. You tried to get as much information as you can. At the same time, you don't have to force a square peg into a round hole when you're in a situation we're in. I think we wanted to listen and be willing to strike if it was the right opportunity. And if we were mindful of the fact that we, like our group, if it wasn't, he said, if it wasn't. So, in all those circumstances, there were many circumstances we were a part of that weren't leaked to the media. And those, he said, there were several opportunities for us to potentially get better. I think we decided overall the cost was much too high. We weren't a team that felt like we had to do anything. Okay, so this is a question about the picks. You guys still have a surplus of first round picks. How do you know as a front office, as a front office, when the time is right to go all in? Griffin, I don't know if you ever know that.
Oh
Really?
my God.
What?
Well, why are you the GM?
OMG.
Okay, let me finish.
Oh,
Let me give you
oh,
some
that
more,
stabbed
let
my
me give you-
heart.
let me give you some more of this word fruit salad
Mm,
here. All right, he says, I think you just make an educated guess and where you are in the growth curve in your team and in the evolution of your group. I think you tend to know the right time. I think you saw OKC by way of example, which has been loath to discuss anything about trying to get better, make a move to improve the group they have. You wouldn't have called what they did, what they traded for Gordon Hayward, of course, an all-in move, but they were doing something that gives them a step to incrementally improve. I think in our situation, we have to continue to do that. We have erred on the side of continuity, and we have tried to be incremental in the growth we make. I don't know if you ever get to the point where you go all in. I think recognizing what a team needs at a given time, we have been pretty mindful of finding the right opportunity. And he does have a few more paragraphs of fruit salad. They asked him about, what do you think about Zion Williamson? Where do you feel Zion and Brandon and CJR as a trio? How do they fit better? You guys have a lot of talent in the starting five. Was your evaluation on how they fit and all this kind of stuff? So,
you weren't gonna read it.
you okay? Lex, you must be hungry tonight. You want some more word salad, fruit salad? I'm gonna give you. We're gonna go over it.
I mean,
You want to hear it?
goodness.
Rabbit pool there, Q. You got to eat a lot of it, bro.
Oh,
You're
my
full, you know.
he touched on some of this stuff during the interview, but if you guys want me to continue to go, we can just go over, and then you guys just give an overall summary of what you feel about it. All right, he said, they asked, what do you think about Zion and how much he has been able to play this season? Where do you think he's at his development wise at this point?
Take credit
Griffin,
right here.
Griffin says, I think we're really grateful that he's been able to grow and evolve in the way he has. I think our medical staff has done a really good job with him. Shout out to Amy. I think he's bought into what we're doing from a really high degree. He says it all starts with him, the work he's putting into it, the maturation, and his approach has been enormous. We have talked a lot about this lately. Once that match gets lit from a maturation process, it tends to be a forest fire. I think you're seeing that Zion is exciting. He's excited to be a part of that. Where do you feel that Zion, BI, and CJ are as a trio? How they are fitting together? Griffin says, I think all of them have worked incredibly hard to bring it about. He says, I think at shoot arounds practices,
You
you see
don't know
these
shit, huh? You just always
spending a lot of time
I
doing
think
work.
we gonna have to take a break on these questions because comment.
He says,
Oh my gosh,
doing some
you
extra
think
work
this is
together, player development work together, running sets together. They're putting an incredible amount of time into this. They're spending time together on the court, going to dinners together.
about off the.
Really
No, they are not.
right. I'm done.
Oh
I
my goodness, I almost said something to.
also think CJ should get a hell of a lot more credit. He's
Oh,
completely changed his shot profile.
I'm done with the credit.
BI is continuing to work towards that as well. As our coaches continue to lean into more of the point Zion situation, those other two guys are having to sacrifice more. And at the same time, they recognize the benefits to doing it. So they're buying into it. And of course, he says some other stuff. So I'm going to let you guys give the floor to you guys to respond to Mr. Griffin. But let me put him up here so he can look at you while you respond. Lexxah, take it away.
Something's wrong with this man. Something's wrong with this man. There's a. I think it's
That he's not really that he's not the general manager, Lex. Is that the problem here? Is the problem is
yeah,
not
yeah. It is a problem, man.
Trajan? We should be hearing from Trajan Langdon as opposed to VP.
Maybe Trajan knows and he doesn't think so much.
He's confirming on why there's a problem from top to bottom. Like everything that I just heard. Like Griff, everything is not peachy with this team. It ain't peachy. Like there's problems on this team. There's problems with the chemistry. There's problems. You know, I understand that, you're trying to collect data because for the most part, everybody's been healthy this season. But at some point in time, you have to be decisive. You have to be proactive and not reactive in the trading market. Like, there's a lot of teams that are better than the Pales. And they're even making trades. What does that tell you? These teams out here are aggressively trying to get better. It's nothing personal. It's a business. It's a business, man. Like, what are you talking about? He like contradicted himself. Go back to that line. You remember the line that me and DC responded to? It was like one of the first things. Like, I think it was the second question. That was crazy, man.
Evolution and the maturation of when to knowing to make the right move. That's what you're talking about? And
Yeah.
I don't think anyone knows. You just take a
Come on, dude, you just contradicted yourself. That makes absolutely no sense. In that case, nothing is known. That's just like saying, hey, I plan to go to that wedding tomorrow, but you know what? Tomorrow's not promised to me. Dude, we all know that, but you still have to make the expectation of trying to do something, and that, like, you got to make the team better. You got to make the team better. You can't be afraid to make those big time decisions. And really, I feel like, with a lot of the moves from top to bottom, it's been a lot of skittishness. Like, you're approaching the game and you're approaching the business very skittish. You're indecisive. That's not good. That's not good at all. Like, you have to continue to get better. I understand. Look, you're trying to build a family atmosphere. You know what? First, let's build a winning atmosphere. Let's do that part. Because let me tell you something. Families are going to feud regardless if you're winning or losing. So you might as well get the winning part down. Like, but I'm not feeling the being reactive, being delayed, being indecisive, playing this waiting game. That's all the Pels are doing right now. They just waiting and waiting and waiting. And you know what? You're falling behind. The game, that's how the game passes you by. You got to make moves. You got to make moves. Like I said, it's nothing personal. It's like, what did the Pelicans try to do here? And what do the fans want? What are we really trying to do? But every time I look up, it's like, the organization isn't proactive enough. And what you find yourself doing is that you're wasting careers. You're wasting time. That's what you're doing. From getting the players that you need. It's like, I'm tired of these rumors. Man, forget these rumors. I'd rather not hear about any more rumors. Let me know when something actually happens. Because it doesn't make any sense to be in all these rumors with Mikal Bridges, uh, um, Nick Claxton, or DeJounte Murray, or Jared Allen. It makes no sense to be in those talks and nothing's happening. Not a daggone thing. So I mean, this is what we've been getting. Yeah. At some point in time, instead of valuing the family part, which I don't feel like that's there for real, they're trying to push that. This is no Heat culture. One thing, if you want to build any type of culture, you gotta build a winning culture. I don't think, and when you get that winning part, then the other stuff is going to come along. But the winning has to come first. How can we win? Once you answer that question, everything else will take care of itself. But that has to be the first thing. You look, these are grown men. They're going to be okay. They're still making millions of dollars. It's okay to move pieces and bring in pieces. But yeah, that statement that he said, that's unacceptable. I mean, that was just a true contradiction. It's like, dog, then why do you have your job? Why do you have your job? If you're too skittish to make a move or do something to make the team better, why are you doing that? Why would you say something like that?
Yeah. My standpoint is this. Why you saying anything at all? Shut up. Like, why are we talking about what hadn't happened at the trade deadline and us not making a move and all of this? I mean, people gonna write those articles as they should. People want to hear about that. Maybe you could drop a little bird crumb to one of the people writing the articles or whatever. Why you got to get up there and do some goddamn like little mini press conference
Save his job.
about nothing happening at the trade deadline? Like I just everything goes fine when you just shut the hell up and be quiet. Like we don't need to hear from you about this because half the time when you speak, you give us the beautiful word salad or the fruit salad as Q calls it. Well, you're just saying a whole bunch of nothing. You say, well, yes, we could have traded, but we chose not to trade. But we almost did, but it wasn't quite the time. But nobody knows when the time will be, and we'll make a trade at that time. What? What are you talking about? Then I gotta hear about Bi and Zion going to dinner and shit. Man, nobody ain't worried about none of that right now, man.
Their chemistry still sucks.
I mean, I see it
You
getting
know what
better.
I'm saying?
I see it getting better.
I don't care what, man. They chemistry
I
still sucks.
don't want to hear about them going to dinner though, Lex. You know what I want to hear
Yeah, I
about?
know, but
when
what
we
basically go on. Sorry, my bad.
when we're in the second round of the playoffs and we're in like game 7 or something, then you can talk about how they went to dinner and they turned around and they got their chemistry together and all of that. Why are we trying to do all this? Like right before the All Star
Oh
break,
goodness.
it's almost like he's speaking like we accomplished something.
And
We haven't
exactly.
accomplished
It's that
anything.
part. It's that part, DC. I'm with you on that. And the thing is, this team has not accomplished a daggone thing. Hasn't accomplished nothing.
It's like he's coming around to gloat. Yeah, we sticking with our team because we believe in them and other. Dude, we ain't won shit, bro. Say all that later when we just shut the hell up. Put
Like,
Bridge in there when you need him, man. He could have just did some mind moves and it just moved past all this, man. Nodded his head 2 or 3 times and we just went on with the season into the All Star break. This was idiotic to me.
it is. I agree.
You get up
The
there to
Bills
talk and
don't
say a
play a
whole
particular
nothing.
style, man. They really do need to establish the identity. Like because it's hurting the team. It's really hurting. You know, I mean, and that's due to inconsistency and all that stuff, even from the coaching standpoint. It's too much inconsistency all the way around. I mean, inconsistency in the GM talking. GM is not even talking. Oops. Oh man. I mean, it's like this team is like I see the record, and the record is, it's all right, but I'm mainly looking at the way that the team is playing. And if you kind of block out the Western Conference standings and, the record altogether, it's like, man, yeah, y'all need some help. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that need to be done with this team. There's so many things. And the thing is, I think temporarily the wins cover all of that up. But my goodness, when the team loses, it's like all this stuff, everything that needs work, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And I can see it when we're winning. You know what I'm saying? I can see it, but sometimes people can't see those flaws when the team is winning. Oh, we got the dub, and that's all that matters. No, there's things that is gonna catch up with us if we do not address it. It's going to come back and it's going to haunt us. And we actually saw that on tonight. It's it's frustrating. It's frustrating. There's a lot of things that need work on this team, whether the team wins, whether the team loses. But at some point in time, we gotta address it head on and not keep, just continue all just sweeping under the rug.
All right. All right. So man, listen, that's yeah, I was expecting something, to be honest with you. Happen, not nothing to happen. And we had reasons to, dealing with Valachunas' contract. Najee Marshall, if you want to try to do something to kind of, but the Pelicans didn't see nothing. Griffin and let's throw Trajan in there as well. We don't often hear from him, and I would like to have hear from our general manager. And that just, that just speaks well to why the guy was trying to
We
get out
about
of
to
here.
pull up Trajan got an interview too. We about to hear from him.
Or at
No,
least the assistant GM.
no,
You know?
not even that.
I thought you said we about to hear from Trajan, Q.
I said we need to hear from. I mean, I would like to hear from him, and and I can understand why he was trying to. And we talked about this before when he was trying to take the Washington job and he got turned down to go to the dumpster fire, which is the Washington Wizards. He obviously felt that was a better situation than sitting with the Pelicans, because whatever moves that he makes that will actually do something for the team, he'll never get the credit for it. He won't ever get credit. The media does that when they just leap over Langdon and start talking to Griffin like, Langdon doesn't even exist. And that's why I used to make the mime jokes and all that kind of stuff. You might as well be a mime. I mean, you got to be more vocal, or have an arrangement where you represent. He goes somewhere and shut his damn door. I don't know why he was up there, why he needs to be there talking about this stuff, just grabbing some press. And listen, he's gotten a lot better than what he used to be. To be honest, you're talking about giving somebody some credit. This dude was always in front, to the point where we was just like, when things started screwing up with the team, we started pinpointing him. So he had to dial back and say, hold on, man, I got to let the general manager, because if something happened wrong, you can shoot at him and not at me, and I'll just put somebody else in his place. We started identifying him as the key maker. So, like I said, I thought they should have done something, but I'm not, with Valachunas moving, but with Val staying now, the Pelicans got past that. So what will be the next shoe to drop? Nothing has been said about that. We'll just have to pay attention to that as we get closer to after the end of the season. But ultimately, Lex asks the question, what are we doing here in terms of what do we want to be? Or ultimately a championship team, but first and foremost, getting to the playoffs consistently. I don't know if we can do a Golden State transition. I mean, you would only hope, like DC likes to use hopium. But outside of that, I don't
shit, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry, DC. I'm sorry about your hopium, but that's the thing, is that we don't know. We want to see them in the playoffs consistently. That's what I want to see. But anyway, we'll get ready to close the stream down, man. Listen, there's another matchup tomorrow. Portland and the Pels play in Portland. CJ McCollum gonna go there and light them up. He's going back to where he came from, so he's gonna light their asses up. But we'll be back to recap that matchup tomorrow as well. So we'd like to say thanks to all the family members that stayed up late for this matchup as the Pelicans go down in blazes, 139 to 122 to the Lakers. We got one more matchup with these Lakers later on in the season. And the Pelicans, that's the bad news, is the loss, but the good news is the Pelicans have 3 very winnable games headed into the All-Star break. Portland, Memphis, and what's the third team, Lex? What's the third team?
Memphis.
No, it's a third. It's Portland, Memphis, and Washington.
Yeah,
Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Portland, Memphis, and Washington. Very winnable teams. Very winnable, and then they go into the All-Star break. Very winnable. We can do that. We can get the dubs. We can go into the All-Star break 33-22. That'd be very cool. That'll be very cool. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that. Much love to the fan. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button.
One love, man.
And feel free to share the show on your social media feed as well. Shout out to
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelican, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember,